Please like my videos, please subscribe to my channel, and please press the bell icon so that you get to know when my latest video has come. And to learn more and to find a video relevant to you, please do check out my videos list. Hello, namaskar and adab to all my friends from your friend Astrologer and Guide Irfan, once more with you from your very own channel Astro Assurance. When we look at good results, we generally look at the Dasha periods or the Antar Dasha periods, and we look forward to results from them. And we get a little tentative, or we get scared about the Dasha or Antar Dasha of a malefic planet or a planet which is not well placed in the horoscope. And so we get a little tentative, we are scared, and we want to be more careful during those periods. However, it has been said many times that the actual delivery boy for results is a transit rather than a Dasha or Antar Dasha. So the Dasha or Antar Dasha surely can bring up higher probabilities, but it is a transit which generally fructifies results regarding those areas. So let's see how transits, through a quick and easy way, we can see whether a transit can be a good transit for us, a challenging transit for us, it's a profitable transit for us, and what kind of results it will bring. So firstly, a transit of the larger planets or the slower moving planets are more effective. Hence, the transit of Jupiter, which transits a house or a sign once a year, or the transit of Rahu and Ketu, which transit together once in 18 months or 1.5 years, or the transit of Saturn, which transits from one house to the other or from one sign to the other once in 2.5 years. These are the more important ones. These are the important ones also because they remain, these planetary entities remain in a house for a long period of time. So they have enough time to fructify and bring into effect results regarding that house, and gives you enough time. So normally when we are looking at taking a decision, say for example buying a property or getting married or sitting for competitive exams, it takes us months to prepare for the event or to contemplate the event or to decide on something. So if you are looking for a property, it is not something that we see in the morning and buy in the evening. It takes months for us to get the results done. And so usually what happens, the transits of the faster moving planets, whether that is of Mercury or that of Venus, these are planets which can bring about good and favorable results. However, because the transit of these planets over a house or sign is for a very short period of time, it's between a month, or depending on whether it's retrograde or not retrograde, it can be anywhere between 30 days to 45 days to even a month. So that period is a short period of time, and hence the period may allow us to fructify results. However, if we don't decide during that time, if we are not decisive, or we don't make use of that period, it tends to fly away, and hence many times we miss opportunities. Or sometimes it so happens that we may be contemplating on something for a long period of time, but suddenly when the Dasha of a Venus comes or a Mercury comes or even a Mars comes, suddenly we may buy a property. Especially Dashas, the transits of Mars for example, as coupled with the Dasha of, or the Dasha of Mars, is a very strong period for property related decisions, because the Karaka of property is also Mars. So what is the transiting planet, the Karaka of which house it is transiting over, is also very important. So for example, if Mars is transiting over the 4th house and Mars is the Karaka of real estate, then the chances of you indulging in or buying or taking a decision regarding a property are very high, and it increases the chances if Mars Dasha or Antar Dasha is also on. So if the Antar Dasha of Mars is on, Mars is also transiting over the 4th house, and 4th house is related to property, Mars is also the Karaka of property, then there is a very high chance that the transit may end up you taking some decision regarding property, or some results regarding property can come about. Now it's not always a goody thing because Mars is transiting over the 4th house. Sometimes it could also bring challenges in that particular house over which Mars is transiting. Especially if Mars is transiting over a sign which is inimical to it over the 4th house, then results about the 4th house can come about. However, those results can also be challenging ones, which may also force you to even let go of a property, mortgage a property, or sell a property off also, and the decision may not be so very profitable also. So just because the planet is a karaka of something need not be always that the decision or the result for the transit can always be a great one. So Mercury and Venus also transiting over a house can bring benefic results, but as I said earlier, because the period is very short of the transit, you don't have much time. So you need to be prepared for the transits of Mercury and Venus for you to get good results. Moon's transit is a very short period of time. So this is generally Moon's transit over a couple of days is more about, you know, your moods and your temperament going up and down, and you getting affected by the. So next to me is Ewok, and she is playing with my wires and all, and so she's wants some attention. So I hope you don't mind if I keep her in the lap, because otherwise she's going to chew up all my wires. So anyway, so the challenge for a transit is going to be if the transit is of a planet which is an inimical planet and not a favorable planet. Even if it's a benefic planet, but if it's an inimical planet to a certain sign or a house, then it can still bring you challenging results. So for example, if both Mars as well as Rahu or Ketu or Saturn are transiting over a house, Saturn will remain in a house for at least 2.5 years. So during that time there will be multiple transits of a Venus, of a Mercury, of a Mars also over Saturn. So when Mars is transiting, say, over Saturn in a certain house, then the challenging results of that house can come about. If Saturn is going through the transiting through the Lagna, which is happening for a Capricorn ascendant native right now, and Mars is also transiting over it, Mars gets exalted in Capricorn and Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn, and if it's the Lagna, then Saturn is also in a Sasha Yoga. So Sasha Yoga is what Saturn is placed in, and Mars is transiting through its exaltation sign. So generally we would tend to believe that good results can come by, but not two malefics, even if they are well placed in that, but two malefics together, they will bring some or the other challenge, some or the other upheaval. So don't think that just because it rules that particular sign or the planet which goes over it is its exaltation sign, it will always give good results. Malefic planets tend to throw up surprises and challenges. So be a little careful whenever the transit of two malefics is happening at the same time. The transit of a slow malefic like either Rahu or Ketu, and then over that the transit of a stronger malefic like that of a Sun or Mars. Sun generally brings in challenges with respect to your position in life, leadership roles, accountability or responsibility. You may be held up and made accountable for something, sometimes even when you are not responsible for that, but you will have to take responsibility, and you may lose in the bargain also. Or it could also be a period of sudden rise. So for example, Jupiter is transiting over a good sign. For example, if Jupiter is transiting over Pisces or Cancer or Sagittarius or even Leo, then if Sun is transiting over that sign also, then it's a great period of a sudden rise also for you, because Jupiter brings in expansion and Sun brings in a leadership role, a more accountable role, which generally comes with a promotion or a role which moves up. Sun's transit over the Lagna or the 10th house, especially when there is another benefic place in the natal horoscope, can also bring in a leadership role, and you can also get associated with government projects, government jobs, or you also clearing competitive exams. If the transit is over the 9th house, then it's a placement where you may get through competitive exams, you may also get admission in good universities, or you may even fly abroad during transits over the 9th house. If the transit is over the 2nd house, then there could be a rise in income, there could be better livelihood opportunities for you, there could also be joining the family business or starting a business with family. Transit of good benefics over the 11th house can also bring you a good rise in your social status, you increase your social network. It could also be a period of you gaining more social recognition and becoming more famous, and who knows, you can end up becoming a celebrity of a good transit of say 2 benefics over the 11th house, especially in a friendly sign. So transits of benefics over a house generally tend to bring you good results unless there is some inimical sign that they are transiting over, or they are transiting over another malefic. Then there could be a challenge also. Also, the transit of a retrograde planet or a debilitated planet in your natal horoscope, when they are transiting over the Kendra houses, they may tend to bring some challenges, and to a lesser extent over the trine houses as well. The trine houses are better able to take care of themselves rather than the Kendra houses, where the decisions or the results are more forced upon us. So whenever the transits of benefic planets are over the Kendra houses, the control that you have over them is less. Same thing when there are transits of malefic planets over the Kendra houses also. The control that you have on the results of those houses is less for you, and so it becomes more of a challenge when the malefic planets are transiting over Kendra houses less than the trine houses. Transits over the Dusthana generally bring some upheaval, some challenge or the other, and so one has to be a little careful, especially if the transit is of Saturn or a Rahu or a Ketu or a Dusthana. Then that period can be a period of challenge, especially because Rahu and Ketu will remain in that sign for about 18 months, 1.5 years, and Saturn will remain in that for about 2.5 years. So if Saturn is transiting over inimical sign to itself over the Dusthanas, whether it's the 6th house or the 8th house or the 12th house, then that could be a period of challenges coming in, but you're not being able to resolve them quickly. So for example, if Saturn is going through the 8th house over the Cancer sign, this is especially for a Sagittarius ascendant native, where the 8th house is that of Cancer. So if Saturn is transiting through the 8th house over Cancer sign, while it is the Karaka of the 8th house, but because it is the Cancer sign, it is the sign inimical to it, ruled by Moon. So then the challenges could be where, because it is Cancer sign, emotional challenges, emotional upheavals could also be rising, frustrations could also happen, sudden upheavals, sudden challenges could make you lose peace of mind. Generally, Saturn's transit over Cancer over the 8th house will not bring you too many big losses. However, there could be challenges because of which your mental state is triggered more, frustration and anxieties are built in more, fears are built more. So you tend to become more fearful of an event happening. Generally, most of the time that event may not even happen. So when Saturn is transiting over Cancer, be a little careful and be wary that you may have unnecessary fears because of that transit. Ketu's transit over the Dusthanas generally may bring in some challenge about health related issues. So if Ketu is transiting over the 6th house over an inimical sign, for example, Ketu transiting over Aries, or Ketu transiting over Cancer, or Ketu transiting over Leo, especially say for example over Leo, then there could be health challenges and sudden health challenges which may require visits, multiple visits to the clinic also. So one needs to be a little careful when Ketu is transiting over the 6th house and the 8th house or the 12th house, because the transit is going to be there for about roughly 18 months. However, if Ketu is transiting through a friendly sign, for example, Ketu is transiting through Scorpio in the 8th house, this is for Aries ascendant native, then Ketu is also protective of not many health challenges happening or severe health challenges happening. So even if there is a health challenge, there may not be a bigger one. Ketu transiting along with Saturn, especially with Mars. So for example, if Ketu is placed in the 8th house and an inimical sign, for example, it is transiting over Leo. This is for a Capricorn ascendant native, where the 8th house is that of Leo. Then when Ketu is transiting over Leo, and if the transit of Mars also happens over it, then one needs to be a little careful of small incidents happening, accidents happening, a fall happening, where a fracture can also happen, and in lesser cases even a surgery may come about during that time. And if it's over the 6th house, then it may require even a surgery of your intestines or a visceral organs, or you may have to indulge in or get through hospitalization, and some surgery may also come about. Okay, so once again here is the culprit who is chewing on my wire, my microphone wire, and I don't want to lose sound. So what do I do about her? Okay, enough. Now she is chewing on my fingers. I mean, her bite is not very strong, but it is sharp enough because she's just teething. She's just 3 months now. Okay, off you go now. Thank you. Transits generally of malefic planets, as I said, of Ketu or Mars, especially over the 6th house, can bring about surgery. But the biggest challenge can be if the transit is happening over the Lagna, then you don't even know where the challenge is coming from. Generally, the transits of malefics over the Lagna can bring not only health challenges but wrong decision making, wrong choices also. Transits over the 5th house of a benefic along with a malefic, but if the malefic is friendly to the 5th house, for example, the transit of Mars, for example, over Sagittarius in the 5th house, then along where there is also a transit of a benefic or the benefic is placed in your natal chart, then this could also be a period of where you make sudden gains. There could be sudden increase in your career also, there could be promotion, there could be new roles also, because the 5th house is the 8th house to the 10th house, and there could also be a sudden gain in money, where some speculative investments can bring about money, stock investment in stocks or the market can bring about money, or there will be a sudden rise in the stocks during that time, and it's a good period that you may, if you sell stocks, then you may even make gains. So friends, look at transits. These are important placements in your horoscope from time to time. Transits are always happening, planets are always at any given point of time, they are transiting through various houses, and so one needs to be a little wary of the larger planet transits of Ketu, Rahu, Saturn and Jupiter, because these are long lasting ones, and we'll not vary but be a little careful of the shorter duration transits happening, especially of Mars and Sun when they are happening together over important houses, especially if they are inimical signs to Mars or Sun. So generally these are the results that you get from transits of planets. Through quick and easy way through your horoscope, you can ascertain whether a transit can be good or challenging for you. And if you feel a transit could be a challenging transit for you, it's best that you look at the Karaka of the particular area of that house, and whether if it's placed well, then there could be lesser challenges during that, or you may ride over the challenge, or it could be a small blip in the horizon rather than a serious challenge. So friends, look into your own horoscope, understand the current transits happening right now. Jupiter and Saturn both are transiting over the sign of Capricorn, so it's a double transit which is happening. So if it's happening over the Kendra houses or over the trine houses, some results can come about, some upheavals, some shake-up can happen for either good or the bad, depending on how Saturn and Jupiter are placed in your horoscope. Rahu and Ketu have transited just a few months back, last year in September. So both of them are residing in the Taurus and Scorpio respectively. So Ketu will be less damaging in Scorpio. However, based on how Ketu is placed in your horoscope, there could be some things that Ketu can throw up. Usually Ketu's transit brings up some change, and because Ketu's transit has happened just a few months back, so expect sometime during the unexpected, and that result can also come about. The Rahu transit into Taurus is a money transit for you. So if Taurus sign is strong, Venus is strong in your horoscope, and if there are benefic placed in Taurus sign, then you could make more money. So friends, like this video, share this video, and if you're looking for a personal consultation from me, please reach out to me at the links given below. Until some other time with some other video, this is your friend Astrologer and Guardian signing off. Ciao.